King David was a man after God's own heart. He was a shepherd, a warrior, and a king. From his humble beginnings as a shepherd boy, David rose to become one of the most revered leaders in history. His journey was marked by courage, faith, and an unwavering commitment to his people and his God. But David longed for something more. Despite his many accomplishments, there was a dream that burned brightly in his heart, a vision that he believed was divinely inspired. He dreamed of building a magnificent temple for God. This was not just any structure. It was to be a sanctuary that would stand as a testament to the glory and majesty of the Almighty. This temple would be a place of worship, a place of beauty, and a place of peace. It would be a haven where people could come to seek solace, to find hope, and to connect with the divine presence, and a place of peace. David envisioned a sanctuary that would inspire awe and reverence, a place where the presence of God would be felt in every corner. David wanted to honor God in the grandest way imaginable. He believed that such a temple would not only glorify God, but also unite the people in their faith and devotion. David shared his dream with his people. He spoke passionately about his vision, describing the temple in vivid detail, and his words ignited a spark of excitement and anticipation among the listeners. He spoke of a temple that would be the envy of the world, a structure so magnificent that it would draw people from far and wide, a beacon of hope and a symbol of divine presence. It would be a beacon of hope, a place where the weary could find rest and the lost could find direction. It would stand as a testament to God's glory, a shining example of faith and devotion. A testament to God's glory. The temple would be adorned with the finest materials, its walls and pillars gleaming with gold, and its halls echoing with the sounds of worship and praise. The people were inspired by David's vision. They could see the grandeur of the temple in their mind's eye, and they too yearned for a place to worship and honor their God. The idea of a grand temple resonated deeply with them, and they were eager to see David's dream become a reality. Excitement filled the air as David gathered his advisors. He knew that building such a temple would require careful planning, immense resources, and the collective effort of his people. He shared his plans for the temple. He described its towering pillars, its gleaming gold, and its intricate carvings. Every detail was meticulously planned, from the grand entrance to the inner sanctum. He described its towering pillars, its gleaming gold, and its intricate carvings. The temple would be a masterpiece of architecture and artistry, a place where every element spoke of devotion and reverence. Every detail was meticulously planned. David left no stone unturned in his quest to create a temple that would be worthy of the God he served. He envisioned a place where heaven and earth would meet, where the divine presence would dwell among the people. David poured his heart and soul into this dream. It was more than just a building project. It was a labor of love, a testament to his faith, and a gift to future generations. This temple was not just about bricks and mortar. It was about love, devotion, and a desire to connect with the divine. It was a symbol of the people's faith and their commitment to their God, and a desire to connect with the divine. David's dream was a testament to the power of faith and the unyielding belief in a God who deserves our highest praise. David's dream was a testament to the power of faith. It showed that with unwavering belief and dedication, even the grandest visions could be brought to life. His dream was not just about building a temple. It was about building a legacy of faith and devotion, and the unyielding belief in a God who deserves our highest praise. David's vision for the temple was a reflection of his deep love for God and his desire to create a place where that love could be celebrated and shared by all. David was a mighty warrior. He had fought many battles and won many victories. He had shed blood in God's name. But God had other plans. He told David that he could not build the temple. God said that David's hands, though strong and capable, were not the right hands for this sacred task. David was initially disheartened. He had set his heart on building this temple. He had pored over every detail, every stone, every piece of gold. But David was a man of faith. He trusted in God's wisdom, even when it was difficult to understand. God explained to David that the temple would be built by a man of peace. It would be built by his son, Solomon. Solomon was known for his wisdom and his peaceful nature. God had chosen him for this special purpose. David understood. He accepted God's will. He knew that God's ways are higher than our ways. And so David put aside his own desires and embraced God's plan. David called for Solomon. It was a moment that would be etched in history. A father summoning his son for a conversation that would change the course of their lives and the destiny of their people. He looked upon his son with love and pride. Solomon, his beloved child, had grown into a wise and capable young man, ready to take on the mantle of leadership. He knew that Solomon was the one chosen by God. This was not just a father's wishful thinking, it was a divine selection, a sacred appointment that carried immense responsibility. David placed his hands on Solomon's shoulders, a gesture heavy with meaning. It was a transfer of not just authority, but also of faith, hope, and divine purpose. He passed the torch, the sacred responsibility of building God's temple, to his son. This was a task that required not just skill and wisdom, but also unwavering faith and dedication. "Solomon, my son," David said, his voice filled with emotion, "this is a momentous occasion. You are chosen for a purpose greater than any earthly ambition. God has chosen you for a great and holy task. This is not just a construction project, it is the creation of a sacred space where our people will connect with the divine. You are to build the temple, the house of the Lord. This temple will be a beacon of faith, a symbol of our covenant with God, and a place where future generations will come to seek his presence." Solomon listened intently, his heart filled with awe and a sense of responsibility. He understood the gravity of the task ahead and the honor bestowed upon him. David continued, "Be strong and courageous." These words were not just encouragement, they were a command to face the challenges ahead with unwavering resolve. "Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you." This assurance was meant to fortify Solomon's spirit, to remind him that he was never alone in this divine mission. He will not fail you or forsake you. These words echoed in Solomon's mind, a promise of divine support that would guide him through the trials and tribulations of his sacred duty. Solomon felt the weight of his father's words. They were not just a father's advice, but a divine mandate that he was now bound to fulfill. He knew that this was no ordinary task. This was a mission that required divine guidance, immense wisdom, and the collective effort of his people. This was a divine calling, a sacred duty that transcended personal ambition and required a heart fully devoted to God. Solomon accepted the responsibility with humility and determination. He knew that this was a path laid out by God, and he was ready to walk it with faith and courage. He knew that he could not do this alone. The task ahead was monumental, and he would need all the support he could get. He would need God's guidance, his father's wisdom, and the support of his people. This was a collective effort, a mission that required the unity and faith of the entire community. And so, the journey to build God's temple began. It was the start of a sacred mission, a divine endeavor that would leave an indelible mark on history and faith. David, filled with fatherly love and wisdom, gathered Solomon close. The air was thick with the weight of the moment, a sacred exchange between a father and his son, a king and his heir. David's eyes, though aged and weary, sparkled with a fervent light as he prepared to impart the wisdom of a lifetime. He wanted to impart everything he knew, everything he had learned from a life lived in service to God. His voice, though softened by age, carried the authority of experience and the tenderness of a father's love. He knew that the path ahead for Solomon would be fraught with challenges and responsibilities that would test his faith and resolve. He spoke of the importance of seeking God's guidance in all things. "Solomon," he began, his voice steady and warm, "the wisdom of men is but a shadow compared to the wisdom of God. In every decision seek his counsel. Let his light guide your path, for it is only through his guidance that you will find true success and fulfillment." "Solomon," David began, his voice warm and steady, "always remember that this temple is not your own. It is a sacred trust, a divine commission. The temple is a symbol of our covenant with God, a place where his presence will dwell among his people. It is a holy task, one that requires not just skill and resources but a heart fully devoted to God. It is God's dwelling place. This temple will stand as a testament to his glory, a beacon of his presence among us. It must be built with reverence and dedication, for it is not just a building, but a sacred space where heaven and earth will meet. Seek his will in every decision, every detail. From the grandest design to the smallest ornament, let each element reflect his majesty and holiness. Do not rely solely on your own understanding, but seek his wisdom in all things. For it is through his guidance that the temple will truly become a dwelling place for his presence. Let his wisdom be your guide. In times of uncertainty, when the path seems unclear, turn to him. He will illuminate your way and provide the insight you need to make wise decisions. Trust in his wisdom, for it is greater than any human understanding. Solomon listened intently, his heart heavy with the weight of responsibility. He knew that his father's words were not just advice, but a sacred charge. The task before him was immense, and the responsibility of leading a nation and building a temple for God was daunting. Yet, he felt a deep sense of purpose and determination. David continued, his voice filled with urgency, "Do not be swayed by doubt or fear. There will be times when the challenges seem insurmountable, when the weight of leadership feels too heavy to bear. In those moments, remember that you are not alone. God is with you, and he will provide the strength and courage you need to overcome any obstacle. There will be challenges, obstacles, and moments when you feel overwhelmed. The path of leadership is never easy, and the task of building the temple will test your resolve, but do not be discouraged. Each challenge is an opportunity to grow in faith and reliance on God. Embrace these moments as chances to deepen your trust in him. But remember, God is with you. His presence will be your constant companion, his strength your support. In times of trial, turn to him. He will never abandon you, and his love will sustain you through every difficulty. Trust in his promise, for he is faithful and true. He will never leave you nor forsake you. This is his promise to you, a covenant that will stand the test of time. No matter what challenges you face, his presence will be your refuge and strength. Hold fast to this promise and let it be your anchor in the storms of life. Solomon nodded, etching his father's words onto his heart. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for the wisdom and guidance his father had imparted. These words would be his compass, guiding him through the challenges and responsibilities that lay ahead. He vowed to honor his father's legacy and fulfill the sacred task entrusted to him. "And lastly, my son," David said, his voice thick with emotion, "surround yourself with skilled craftsmen, wise advisors, and faithful workers. The task of building the temple is too great for one man alone. You will need the support and expertise of many to bring this vision to life. Choose your team wisely and work together in unity and purpose. Delegate tasks, seek their counsel, and work together as one. Each person has a unique role to play, and it is through collaboration and mutual support that the temple will be built. Value the contributions of each individual and foster a spirit of cooperation and respect among your team. This temple is a testament to God's glory, and it will require the combined efforts of many to bring it to fruition. It is a monumental task, but with God's guidance and the dedication of your team, it will be accomplished. Let this project be a symbol of unity and devotion, a reflection of our commitment to God and his people. Solomon, filled with gratitude and determination, vowed to honor his father's words and fulfill the sacred task entrusted to him. He felt a renewed sense of purpose and resolve, ready to take on the challenges ahead. With his father's wisdom as his guide and God's presence as his strength, he was prepared to lead his people and build a temple that would stand as a testament to God's glory for generations to come.